What is your name?
My name is Chet Stoll.
And you are the parent of?
Evan Stoll. We were 3 years, 15, 16, 17. We were introduced to the Tigers as we were transitioning from youth baseball. A number of players wanted to stay together. We heard of the Tigers as really an up-and-coming program under Aaron's leadership. We liked the culture that they created, the coaching around it, and facilities and proximity were all factors. I say the Tiger program helped in the transition with the year-round development that we had. You have to practice to develop skills, and you have to play a lot of games to apply those skills to see if you can find success that develops confidence. And by the amount of baseball that we had played by the time high school came around, I think Evan was quite confident that he could compete successfully. Well, I say it started with the annual parent meeting with the Tigers, and Evan would join me each of those years, and we learned a lot about the process through that annual meeting. And one was that if you really have the passion and desire, there's probably a place you can play in college. And so that started our family conversation around, Evan, there's probably a place that you can play, but you need to decide if that's the place you want to attend college for your education. And so Evan reflected on that, and I think he got to the point that if he wasn't able to play at a place that he really hoped to play, he was really to step aside from baseball and really pursue his education, and I'm really proud of him. I thought that was a mature approach. As Evan started looking at different schools or telling us what he was interested in, we would take the college orientation visits. And I would really encourage parents to not look beyond that educational aspect and to take your kids on separate visits to get a feel for the campus and what attending school is going to be like. And I think sometimes a light bulb goes off when you're in those, that this is really where I want to be. I found on recruiting visits, oftentimes it's really focused on the baseball, and there's just a touch on the educational side, and you really don't get that flavor. So I thought having an additional or separate visit was important. During his junior year, Evan attended a PBR event, and his fastball hit 90 miles an hour. And that really launched a lot of the recruiting interest. And so we're hearing from Missouri and other areas expressing interest. And so contacting Evan directly, but also a lot of contacts through the Tiger coaches. And they could provide their assessment of Evan. You know, with the programs Evan showed interest in, we made sure we were attending their camps. We were being proactive in contacting the coaches, letting them know of Evan's interest. And after attending camps and recruiting visits, then we were in that wait and hope mode. You know, when or if will someone call? And luckily last July, Evan received a call from Coach Jerry Zulli, who's the new recruiting coordinator at Mizzou, with the offer or invitation to become a Tiger. And I just happened to have the good fortune of being with Evan at that moment, and we would both describe it as one of the happiest moments of our life. I don't know if it's a myth about recruiting as much as maybe a misunderstanding of parents, in that participating or having your kid participate in a club program doesn't maturate or guarantee that your son's going to be playing in college. I think it's important for parents, and this was new to me starting out in the Tiger program. The club program is an opportunity to learn, compete, and show what you're capable of doing. For all the time and treasure that parents invest in a club team with the travel and the money, I think you start to think, well, why aren't the people knocking on my door? And so I think that's just a misperception because of the amount of attention we put into it. But I think it just speaks to how important it is for us as parents to be very proactive in reaching out to coaches, creating opportunities for our sons to attend camps and see if there's a fit between them and coaches. Well, first and foremost, I would have a visit with Coach Sigler, and that is one of the most valuable resources that's made available to Tiger parents. And if your son has a desire to play at the next level and continue playing baseball, I would encourage folks to do that right away and don't wait. I would also encourage folks, as I said, to get your son involved in camps, in visits, in communicating directly with coaches. One of the things I've learned is coaches and recruiters like to communicate directly with your son. I always thought they'd come through a parent. Well, that's not the case. They're texting, they're talking directly. So don't wait until your junior year, although the junior year is when the recruiting activity really picks up. And again, that aligns with the needs of the colleges. But begin early and create that exposure and that contact and interest. And fortunately for us, Evan showed some achievement on the field. I think the other important thing that I would point out is the Tiger coaches serve a role as a really important reference to not only us as parents, but to the college coaches and recruiters as well. We have to demonstrate something that those Tiger coaches helped us understand the process, helped us navigate, but I think they're also helping those college coaches with background information. How does your son compete? Are they a leader? Are they a worker? And providing them with insight they need to make their decision as well. Our youth team was coming to an end, and we wanted to, raise the bar. Several of us wanted to continue playing together, and at the time, we saw the Tigers as kind of a younger, up-and-coming program. We really saw it as a chance to learn, compete, and have fun. And at the end of the day, we saw it as a really good return on our investment, and we couldn't be more pleased to have been Tigers.